Um, Sunday, the day after Valentine's Day. Hello. I'm trying to learn this platform, and if I can get some comments back and I can reply to them, that is my goal today. So let's see what happens. Let me send it to my buddy. Might be able to help me. Here in Rock Hill, it's kind of cold, rainy, and I want to play some drums in a little while. But I'd like to interact with the YouTube audience. Cool thing I've got beside me. Let me grab it out here. I keep beside my door a bucket of sticks. Gosh, I've had these forever. They're of course they're old, warped, but some SDs, some mallets, marching uh, generals. Pretty cool. I never throw away sticks unless they break. Then I use them for a window holder, hold the window up in an old home or a prop, or sometimes I give them to my friend who's a music repairman, and he cuts them and he uses them to hammer out horns, trumpets, sax. Something wood is a lot better than metal. Um, anyway, that's stick talk. Let's see if anybody joined. There, Rebecca. Rebecca Mensa. Let's see if I can talk to you. Hey, hi. Um, have you watched anything from the Olympics? Yes, very much into that. It's wonderful, isn't it? So let's see here. Tap on your name. Tap on your name. Nothing works. Huh? What am I doing wrong, guys? Somebody needs to help. Like I said, I'm still trying to learn this. What's your name? I'm Keith Oliver. I live here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. I own and operate a recording studio, and I'm a drummer. And I like posting drums performances from in my living room, and that living room being a home studio changes. Tomorrow I've got a 11-piece jazz band coming in, and so my drums have got to come down tonight because they want to use their own drums. But the topic generally is all about drums, music. What spot do you live in? Rock Hill? I live in South Carolina too. Oh, okay. Yeah, so um, Rock Hill is not that far from Charlotte, North Carolina. A hop, skip, and a jump. So when I add moderator, put users in timeout, I don't want to do that. Pin message, report, remove, I don't want to do that. I don't know how to respond. I'm sure there's probably a video out there that will help. What part of South Carolina do you live in, Rebecca? Yeah, I use so the reason I have two YouTube channels. Hello, how are you doing today? I have two YouTube channels. One is named Keith underscore Oliver, but I don't have any posts on there. I've been using SC515 for South Carolina, and the 515 um, is from the Who, 515. One of my favorite songs off of Quadrophenia album. So I've been using that for quite a while as a username. I do need to go in there and change my link. I did take during the pandemic, I took my website down. So if it says Olive Recording Studio, that is no longer a link. You just have to word of mouth contact me. Have you been shooting heroin and taking benzos? No, don't do drugs. Why'd you ask? Because of my red tinted glass or rose tinted glasses? My family's in the optics, and I choose what color glasses and stuff I use. I got blue ones, pink ones, red ones. Have you been shooting heroin, taking benzos? I seem slow? Yeah, well, some people don't, I guess, interact very well on social media. That's just the way I am. I grew up this way. I am a drummer. Look at my videos. Um, I tell you what, I've got reflexes that will blow your mind. So, seems slow. Anyway, would you have any requests for drums, or it's all good? All right, thanks, man. Um, where are you from, by the way? Um, hey, mate. Ah, okay. No, it's freezing outside. I'm literally outside. Peru. I would love to visit Peru. That is on my bucket list. Absolutely beautiful. Some of the best diving I've heard, scuba diving as well as snorkeling, and that's right up my alley. I love the ocean, um, reefs, fish, and that's that type of stuff. Wow, Lima, Peru. So yeah, what are your idea about visiting in India? I'm, I'm open. I think if you go around the world, I have not been. I'll be honest with you, I have not been outside of the United States. I've been to Canada. I've driven there, driven to Alaska. I've flown to Hawaii, Maui, but that's still in the U.S., I guess. But I've never been outside of the U.S. And I think that a lot of my friends and families that have visited other countries, Germany, Italy, um, gosh, my sister went to Germany when they were tearing down the wall. That's been a while. And they seem to come back with a lot more education, more worldly, and have a different outlook on life. You just have an excellent relax if you're a drummer. You should have. Okay. Yeah. Well, last night, my wife Sil dropped something, and before it landed on the floor, this hand picked it up, and she said, "Yeah, you're a drummer." And I didn't even realize that I just grabbed it. It just was a reflex. And I tell you, going back to reflexes, that's why right now I've got a little shoulder pain. And I have taken my drums and I've taken a lot of cymbals away because if you have that option to play um, other instruments, other type of percussions, if they're in front of you, your reflexes are going to go for that sound because it's kind of like a piano. You want different notes, uh, different articulates of noise to make. But if you have an injured shoulder, then move them. I encourage that because drumming should be a very relaxed art. And I'll take that off. It's not that cold out here. Path from Rush, um, 2112 Overture. Um, you get much better than that. Um, Neil Peart changed my life. The whole band did. Uh, I'm so glad they're getting back together with this new drummer. Well, not well, new to them. Let me slip this thing back on. It is colder than I thought. Um, he passed away, unfortunately. Yes, he did, and it was very unfortunate. A sad day. I saw him many times. Um, I will tell you something. I've never seen somebody so focused and when he played a solo, and I went and saw him a month later, same show. Um, and he did a solo. He did the same solo, like it was memorized. I know he probably charted it out, but be able to do that is remarkable. Absolutely remarkable band. Great music. Um, I got the pleasure one time of sitting behind his drum set. Did not play them, but I did get to sit behind them. That's another story for a day. That altered my life just to sit there and listen to him talk. I don't know him, didn't know him. It was just a freak coincidence of who I knew that introduced me to that. Do you play the drums? Well, nowadays, the same show with the bands, I think, is pre-recorded. Like I said, I have a recording studio, and I understand that you can lock that in, sync it. Some of my videos I've done for other people on their YouTube channels, as well, not on mine. We will record it in the studio, and then I'll go out with a lot of cameras, um, and then come back in with Final Cut and edit it and sync the music. And it, a little bit off, but I think that's what's going on with the music. I'm not going to say anybody's names. I'm not going to bash them. They're at least out there working, But I think that they need to make a ticket that says pre-recorded, so you understand this shit ain't live, uh, and you're paying to see uh, somebody famous, and you're paying a lot of money. I would like that be on the ticket that you purchase. I don't want to see a pre-recorded fucking show. I want to see the real artist singing, and and I tell you, I've gone so deep into this rabbit hole that I've got so much knowledge in music that you can examine these and find out that they go from one country to another country, and then you analyze the music, and they are absolutely dot on the exact same. And there's no person that can do that. Uh, Stones, I'm an old guy. Yeah, I'm a stoner. Had to stop that though. Uh, there's nothing wrong with that. Fuck it. Um, but yeah, when you go in there, you start analyzing performance from one country to another, and you find out that you run it through some some high end audio uh, details, and look at their peaks, look at their troughs, look at their pitch, and Melodyne is one of my faves. And if they're exactly the same, one show after another, that's pre-recorded. So let's Rolling Stones, yeah. Oh man, remember the Zipper album that had actually on the front cover it had the zipper. You know, what a classic album. But I'm also a vinyl head, so I really dig albums. Um, and also that drummer man is badass. Uh, you can't get any tighter and consistent. There was one show I went to in Columbia, South Carolina. I don't know what year it was, but they were so fucking loud. I walked out um, because I make a living with these ears, and even if you stick something in them, send them in 72. You did okay, yeah. So I mean, sometimes you walk out. I've walked out of concerts, not in disrespect, just because it's too loud. Uh, Boston, I did not walk out. I just walked to the very back. I just wanted to see that show. Center fifth row seat or something. I was like, holy cow, this is too loud. So I got up and moved back. But the Rolling Stones, they will blow you away. What a good band. Uh, what else do you like? So okay, not replying, but I have a cross section of all kinds of music. I mean, James Brown was on my turntable the other day. Art Garfunkel, Simon, Paul Simon, Grover Washington Jr., Elvin Jones. Um, yeah, I don't know what to call this crap they're doing today either. It's not real music. And also, if you want to get down to it, uh, the Spotify and the quality of the music gone down because people want to put earbuds in instead of actually listening to a real audio. It's very convenient, but it's not the same. And when I sit down and listen to music, I look at it like a movie. I don't talk. I like to read the album, the info, and listen. Not necessarily loud because you get a good system, keep your records clean, and sounds good. But what's going on today is not what I grew up going and listening to. It is sometimes I consider crap. I'm not going to pay that kind of money to go see that. Well, anyway, I'm gonna get off this. Hey, it's been nice. I appreciate the comments, and I will do this again. I'm trying to grow the channel. If you would please subscribe. What do we got here? Jazz, R&B, and B, and real country, 60s and 70s rock. Your favorite? That one just went away. Country, Waylon Jennings, golly. Ah, God, Glenn Campbell, he's not country. What do you, I've got his whole collection. Frank Sinatra, um, R&B, gosh, whew, it goes a long way back. Listen to some good stuff right now. I tell you what, go listen to El La Combo, Shane Terriot's band. That's funky stuff. How about some old stuff? Aaron Neville's, um, the funky stuff. Uh, whew. George Jones, Tony Bennett. Yeah. hmm I don't have but one George Jones album. Tony Bennett. I think I've got three. Enjoyable music to listen to. Uh, Wonderful artists. And you know, when I was young, I got the pleasure of meeting Count Basie and his band. I was fortunate that someone was able to get me behind stage, and I sat there and watched that magnificent show. I'm 61, and I saw that show in '72 at a local university called Winthrop Coliseum, and it blew my mind. I could not believe the quality, what I was seeing, and it took me a long time to learn what I was watching and listening. And I didn't ask many questions. I was just like, ah, great. What are some of your favorites? Well, obviously George Jones and Tony Bennett. You know, I even go as far as Arlo Guthrie, um, Sarah Lee Guthrie, and Johnny Iron put together some stuff. Uh, you'd have to check out their stuff. That's fun. Um, Sarah told me that one time she found a book that had a lot of words on paper, and they had no idea what it could have been. It was a song, but there was no tablets or key anything. So they made up their own song, and I think that's a neat story. Then they made some records out of it, the two of them together. Um, that's old history. Um, but you know, you get out, you meet people in this world. I've learned to keep my mouth shut and listen and learn from people that are way, way, way better musicians and learn. And then come home, put drumsticks in my hand and practice. I play in bands and don't see any future other than a working band member. Don't see any fame in my life or fortune that way. It's just for fun. And that's what this channel should be about, is fun. That's what music is to me. All right, y'all take care. It was enjoyable, at least to me it was. I hope it was to you. And thanks for the kind words. Keith out.